The Raving Fan Customer Service System. In this lesson, you're going to discover why customer service is so important to your business moving forward and how, using our system, you can get the best bang for your buck for as little work as possible. So customer service is critical, and providing stellar customer service is important for many reasons. For instance, it helps increase repeat purchases. So whether you have multiple products or you have a product that customers buy more than once, providing stellar customer service along with a high quality product will help increase your repeat purchases. It also helps increase referrals and sales. The happier your customer is, the more likely they are going to tell their friends and family and colleagues about your product and brand. It also builds rapport with your customers in a similar way to the email follow-up sequences we discussed in an earlier module. But perhaps most importantly, it can prevent negative reviews and increase positive ones. So, customer service and reviews. A negative review avoided is better than a positive review gained. Most people will say it takes 3 to 5 positive reviews to counteract one negative review. So, good customer service can help prevent negative reviews. We've had members with products that have many product defects still have a good star rating, and all because of really good customer service. So, let's look at the math. A mediocre customer service example. So, say you sell 1,000 units and you end up with 100 really happy customers. And for the happy customers, you get a 50% review rate, which equals 50 5-star reviews. Then you might have 850 satisfied customers. Now, because they're not super happy, the review rate is probably going to drop. So perhaps you only get 10%, which equates to 85 reviews. But again, because they're not super happy, they might only give you an average of 4.5 and 50 unhappy customers. Again, because it's the extreme of emotion, they're more likely to leave a review. So again, you may end up with a 50% review rate, which equates to 25 reviews, but probably at a really low average, like 2.5 stars. Now, essentially, these numbers are just examples, but this can and does happen. So you end up with 160 total reviews and an average review rating of 4.25. But how about amazing customer service? Again, you sell the same 1,000 units, but this time you have 200 really happy customers, and you might get a 50% review rate, which equates to 100 5-star reviews. Now again, this is just to illustrate the difference between average and stellar customer service. The chances of you getting a 50% review rate, even from very happy or very unhappy customers, is probably quite low. But we're using extremes to drive the point home. Then you might end up with 775 satisfied customers. Again, your review rate will drop because they're just satisfied. So you might only get a 10% review rate. So 78 reviews. And again, they're just satisfied. So 4.5 average is what you might expect. And then remember, generally speaking, we're using the same numbers from the previous example. The only real difference is the number of really happy customers and the satisfied customers, and finally, the unhappy customers. So you might only end up with 25. Again, we're going to say they're going to give a 50% review rate, so you end up with 13 2.5 average star reviews. So your total reviews is 191, but your average review rating is up to 4.6. So what does this all mean? Well, which would you buy? Product A with 160 reviews at 4.25, or Product B with 191 reviews, in other words around 20% more, with a 4.6 rating? It's a pretty straightforward question. You're going to choose Product B, but it goes further, because Product B will continue pulling ahead because it's getting more reviews, so it's going to get more sales, and it's getting more repeat purchases too, and referrals. So within a year, it's likely going to be outselling Product A at least 2 to 1. Now, these are not real numbers from real products. Again, they're just here to illustrate the point, but do not discount this. We see it happening over and over again, and is why stellar support is so important when it comes to your reviews. So one of the things you should always do is comment on reviews. In other words, the only way to reply to a review is to comment on it. However, in order to comment on reviews, you might need to make a purchase on Amazon.com using your seller login. But don't buy any of your own products. Now, Amazon do change this from time to time, but the last time we checked, you needed to make $50 worth of purchases with your seller account. The simple way to check is to set up your profile and try commenting on any review on Amazon. So commenting setup. So first of all, log into your Seller Central account. Then go to Amazon.com. You'll notice not your dashboard. It's Amazon.com where you buy products. It should recognize you and log you straight into Amazon.com. But if not, log in with your same email and password as your Seller Central account. Then go to your account, profile, edit your profile. Then update your public name to what you want your customers to see when you comment. More often than not, people use their brand name, and it works really well because they see the response from the brand itself. But let's jump over to Amazon and I'll show you exactly how to do this. So as you can see, I've logged into my test account and now I'm going to open a new tab and go to Amazon.com. Now you can see it says here, hello Richard, which means it's logged me in as my brand. And then all you're going to do is put your cursor over that box where it says your name and account and lists, then click on your account. And then if you look under ordering and shopping preferences, you'll see your Amazon profile. And then you just want to click on that. Then just click on edit your profile. Don't worry about what's written here, but you want to click on edit your profile. And then you just want to change your public name to your brand. So I'm just going to use Rich Sports Gear, which is actually the seller name for this account. As I said, it's a test account. I do not sell sports gear. And that's actually the only thing you need to fill in. However, you could always fill in your public information, but you just put something about your brand here. But it's just in case if anyone actually clicks on your profile to see who you are, they can see it. And by all means, put your website address into the share your website box. And you can also put your brand Facebook page into the Facebook box. The others aren't really that important. But once you've completed what you want to complete, you just click on save. And you can see now your public name and info has been saved. Then in the top right, you can see view your profile as a visitor. So if you commented on a review of one of your products and someone clicks your username, this is what they will see. So as you can see, it's very basic. I haven't added an image. There's no need to do that. You could put your brand logo here if you wish, but that's what you need to do to set up your profile. Now, your first negative review. You will get a negative review at some point. And yes, it will make you very sad, but do not let this get you down. It's part of doing business on Amazon. It doesn't matter how successful you are, you will get negative reviews. It's just human nature. And sometimes there's a legitimate issue, and sometimes people are just crazy. As I said, human nature. Either way, as I said, it's a fact of selling on Amazon or really running any business today. And a negative review is not the end of the world, but they can impact your sales, which is why we need to deal with them quickly. And the hardest hitting one is your first one, since it's the only time you go from perfect to less than perfect. After that, they do get easier to handle and deal with. So, how to consider negative reviews? First of all, a review, positive or negative, is just feedback on your product and is not a reflection upon you. Do not take it personally. Regardless of the problem or who is at fault, the customer truly is upset. So it will sting, but the only thing that matters is taking care of the customer. In other words, to try and help stave off a bad review. And what you do going forward if there truly is an issue that led to the review. So taking action. First, and always first, take care of the customer. It's the most important thing you need to do. And make sure you read and analyze the review. Don't just respond without trying to understand what caused the issue in the first place. Reply to the review. We've shown you how to set up your profile and apologize. Offer to do whatever it takes to take care of the issue and ask the customer to reach out to you directly. Now, you cannot give out your company email address in a comment, but you can give them your seller profile URL that has a button for contacting you. Just click on your seller name under any product listing of yours. And as a reminder, the first thing you need to do once you've set up your profile is check that you can respond to a review. It doesn't have to be one of your own. If you can't, then you do need to go and make a purchase. And we recommend making a purchase of at least $50. Then try looking up the customer order if they use their real name. Now this is becoming more and more difficult, so don't get hung up on this if you can't find the customer. If you can, then message them directly and ask, can you provide them a refund or replacement with no questions asked. Don't ask them to return anything. It's a pain for them to do. I'm sure you've been in a situation where you just wanted a refund. You didn't want to have to repack the product and send it back to the place you bought it from. Your action plan to fix issues raised by your reviews. Assess the underlying issue. Could better instructions have prevented this? Does your product detail page need to be updated or corrected? Sometimes there's nothing you can do, because all products will have some level of defects, 2% or less, and some issues are outside of your control. For instance, Amazon damaging it or it getting damaged in shipping. In those cases, there's nothing you can do to fix that issue other than perhaps getting better packaging, but it's not something you can address with the customer other than giving them a refund or sending them a replacement. Then decide if you need to act or move on. Finally, you need to put this past you. Stay positive and keep your focus on growing your business. Overcoming reviews is one of the hardest things you will have to deal with. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you will become in getting over these negative reviews. The remedy? Always go get more positive reviews. So before we finish, we're going to cover 8 critical principles of customer service. And these relate to responding to reviews, responding to emails, and also responding to feedback. You should respond to all 3. Number 1, assume the customer is right every time. Yes, every now and again, you're going to get a customer and you think, I'm sure they're just trying to get this product for free. And it will happen. But trying to identify those and figure out exactly who they are to deal with them differently will just cause you stress and potentially cause you to treat a perfectly legitimate customer badly. Be fast. Now, in an absolutely ideal world, 1 hour or less response time is ideal. But obviously, until you've grown your business and have people helping you, this is more difficult. But the absolute minimum you need to respond to any customer message of any type is 24 hours. Be helpful. Go out of your way to help them out, even if it requires finding an answer, and potentially one that's not even down to you. Do whatever it takes to make them happy, whether it's refunding them or offering them a free product replacement. And don't require them to prove anything to you or even reship the product. Even after you've done all that, ask if there's anything else you can do for them, and be personal. Read and respond to their messages from a real person. Remember, the smaller you are, the better service you need to have. So we covered why customer service is critical for all Amazon sellers and the return on investment of amazing customer service. We also looked at the 8 principles of the Raving Fan customer service system too. Then we looked at setting up your Amazon account for commenting on reviews. And we looked at your first negative review and how to handle it. So what's next? In the next lesson, you will discover how to optimize your Amazon ads for profit. Your action step: set up your buyer profile so you can reply to reviews. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.